Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. Here are the stories that we're following today, September 16, 2013. From the Caribbean, former Turks and Caicos ministers back in court this week. 2 Bahamians rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard after drifting for 8 days at sea. Sandals Foundation invests over $8 million in schools and scholarships. Barbados to expand trade relations with Brazil. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Hey, excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. It's your boy Wyclef John, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. 4 former ministers, along with a number of their relatives and other defendants, are due to appear in court in the Turks and Caicos Islands this week for another plea and directions hearing in relation to various criminal charges, including bribery, fraud, and money laundering. Floyd Hall, former Deputy Premier and Finance Minister in the 2003 to 2009 Progressive National Party administration, is due to appear along with his wife, Lisa Hall, and his brother, Quinton Hall. Also listed to appear is Lillian Boyce, a former PNP Minister of Education and Health and the wife of Hayden Boyce, editor-publisher of the TCI Sun newspaper. Also charged is her brother, Earlson Robinson. Joining them are 2 other former PNP ministers, Jeffrey Hall, former Minister of Works, and McAllister Piper Hanschel, former Minister of Land. Other defendants due to appear in the courts are specifically appointed to hear these cases are Hugh Shepard, agreed to discontinue the criminal proceedings against Sivray. He was charged with paying bribes to Floyd Hall to obtain a building code variance permitting his 7 Stars development to be built 7 stories high. It is not clear as to why Sivray is on the latest list unless it is for the formal entering on behalf of the Attorney General, whereupon the court has already ordered he be discharged from the proceedings. In April, Special Prosecutor Helen Garlick explained that before a trial date can be fixed, there are several preliminary matters that need to be decided by the trial judge in plea and directions hearings. According to Garlick, the reason for the continued delay is that the majority of the accused have applied for and been granted legal aid, but have rejected the rates fixed by the registrar and challenged that decision by applying for judicial review. At the same time, Garlick said that former Turks and Caicos Islands Premier Michael Misik will stand trial if he's returned to the TCI. Misik is currently still held in custody in Brazil pending extradition, following his arrest there last December. A Coast Guard helicopter crew safely hoisted 2 Bahamian citizens from their capsized vessel east of Rivera Beach, Florida on Saturday. Coast Guard Sector Miami watchstanders received a report of a capsized vessel with 2 people sitting on the hull in the vicinity of Rivera Beach on Saturday afternoon. Watchstanders quickly diverted the Coast Guard cutter Cormorant and authorized the launch of an MH-65 rescue helicopter from Air Station Miami. The helicopter crew arrived on scene, assessed the situation, and lowered a rescue swimmer to render assistance. The 2 people stated they had been drifting for 8 days and had ingested salt water. The rescue swimmer determined the people needed to be medically evacuated immediately and safely coordinated a hoist with the helicopter crew. The 2 people were transferred to Delray Medical Center for further treatment. The Coast Guard urges all boaters, especially those transiting offshore or to remote areas, to carry an emergency position indicating radio beacon or a personal locator beacon. Those beacons save valuable time during maritime emergencies by transmitting electronic distress signals and GPS coordinates. When EPIRBs are properly registered, they also provide first responders with owner's contact information and vessel descriptions, which is vital information during search and rescue cases. In the news from Jamaica, in keeping with its commitment to educational and community development for the current school year, the Sandals Foundation has invested $8.2 million in scholarships, back-to-school drives, and school upgrades across the Caribbean. Approximately 38 high school students and 11 undergraduate students have been awarded scholarships totaling more than $3 million. 6 of these were granted to teachers who are furthering their studies as part of the Sandals Foundation's plan to support teacher training. One such student is Tonya Pratt, who is now in her last semester at Barry University, finishing up her Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration with a major in marketing. Upon completing her undergraduate degree, Pratt is looking forward towards her master's in international business. Pratt, who has been appointed to the Dean's List at Barry, gives back to her community as Community Service Chairperson for Women of Distinction, an organization with the aim of preparing young women to become successful professionals. More than $600,000 went into back-to-school drives and treats in the Jamaican parishes of Portland, St. James, St. Anne, and Westmoreland, as well as in St. Lucia and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Meanwhile, infrastructural upgrades valued at $3.5 million were carried out at 5 schools in Jamaica and in the Bahamas, where L.N. Crockley High School received a new multipurpose court. Additionally, the Reading Road Trip, a volunteerism initiative put on by the Sandals Foundation in partnership with Island Roots Caribbean Adventures, continues to be a hit among guests of Sandals, beaches, and Grand Pineapple resorts. This year, the Sandals Foundation invested more than $670,000 in new material to boost literacy levels at its adopted basic schools in the Caribbean. Barbados is looking to expand its trade relations with Brazil, and to this end, the government is spearheading a political commercial mission to that country, the largest in South America. The one-week mission began on Saturday, and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Maxine McLean, is leading the delegation. McLean pointed out that one of the major aims of the mission was to identify opportunities to utilize excess production capacities which exist in a number of sectors across Barbados. According to her, the objectives are to showcase Barbados' product and services offerings, enhance the foreign exchange earning capacity of local businesses, provide local manufacturers with the opportunity to establish business relations, and to identify possible sources of raw materials for local producers, promote the country as a tourist and business investment destination, facilitate increased market penetration through direct export, joint venture, and/or franchising, and further strengthen the bilateral relationship with Brazil. Some of the main commodities Barbados exported to Brazil during 2008 to 2012 were rum and its byproducts, personal effects, and vaccines for human medicine, while the main imports were plywood, sheets, canned corned beef, paper and paperboard, glazed ceramic flags, and medication for therapeutic use. Brazil is seen as the most dynamic country within the Latin American region with regard to the export of services. With a population of almost 200 million and an abundance of natural resources, it is considered one of the fastest growing major economies in the world and has been ranked as the 20th leading importer of services. Barbados will therefore be seeking to tap into this area. A number of Barbadian products and services will be on display to Brazilians in Sao Paulo and Brasilia, and a number of musicians and visual artists will also be there with a mandate to showcase their cultural offerings. In the case of goods like condiments, rum, biscuits, and beverages, the BIDC will be hoping to find matches for Barbadian companies where they can be easily placed in the market and feedback on their sustainability by representatives in Brazil. For the NCF, this represents a chance to seek out business opportunities while showcasing top musicians, namely Calypsonian Stetson, Red Plastic Bad Wilshire, jazz singer Kelly Cadogan, and steel pan player David Ziggy Walcott, as well as two visual artists attached to the Fresh Milk project, Catherine Kennedy and Shanika Grimes. The latter two will remain in Brazil for a week-long residency with the Casa Tomada project. McLean, noting that Barbados had a range of professional services it could offer Brazil, highlighted the teaching of English as a second language as one critical area. And I quote, "I was very happy to hear the principal of the University of the West Indies for the Cave Hill campus, Sir Hilary Beckles, speak of building on what they are currently doing. But in addition to what the university is doing, we in the ministry have been working with the Barbados Coalition of Service Industries, along with the Barbados Community College and some private entrepreneurs who have seen opportunities there to provide services in that area," she said. She stated that the FIFA World Cup 2014 and 2016 Summer Olympics will be held in Brazil, and Pro offered the view that there would be a high demand for interpreters or persons competent in English. In 2010, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade prepared a strategy paper on how Barbados could access trade and investment from Brazil, Costa Rica, and Panama. In an effort to spur economic growth and development while creating employment, a political commercial mission was undertaken to Panama and Costa Rica in October 2011, and the feedback suggested it was extremely useful to those who participated. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.